Welcome to your first look at the SuperMotocross World Championship finale. It is the final round of the playoffs, and of course it is brought to you by 6D Helmets. 6D Helmets is dedicated to the relentless pursuit of brain protection. 6D's patented omni-directional suspension technology provides protection capabilities unmatched by any other helmet design. Established in 2011, 6D is the technology leader in both motorcycle and bicycle helmet design. Well, Kellen Brauer, Jason Weigandt here, and we made it. We're at the Coliseum. A year ago, we were sitting here waiting for this to come all into fruition, and we're finally here. We saw some free practice today, but I mean, this is pretty darn cool, right?
I think it actually turned out exactly as we said it would when we were here last October in the press conference that was hosted by myself and Daniel Blair back then. But even though we said it, I feel like everyone was just like, what? Huh? We said we were going to have all the races on Peacock. Yep. Everybody understood that, and they applauded. Coming back to the Coliseum, I think everybody liked that. But the rest of it, playoffs, double, triple points, how you were going to get in, I don't think anyone could square up with that. But it went exactly as they said. We have winner take all. And if you had said it was going to be Haiden Deegan, who people didn't even know would be pro at this time, or Jett Lawrence as a 450 rookie, et cetera, in that mix, besides Eli Tomac not being a part of this, I don't think it could have gone any better.
No, it's definitely come into the fruition that we expected it to, with these three guys really going for a championship, almost winner take all. Like you said, Roczen kind of has to have a little things go his way, and he even said that in the press conference today, right? He said, like, I almost feel like it's Jett and Chase a little bit, and I'm on the outside.
Barely. All he needs, if he wins, is for Jett to finish second and Chase to finish third.
Yep.
I mean, that's not a stretch.
No, not at all. So behind us here, we have the racetrack. We finally got to see it in action today. Initial thoughts, what are you seeing from these guys out here on this track?
Well, look, everybody said this one's probably going to be more Supercross. They're not denying it. Yeah. Yes, it has the up and downhill that makes it elevation change of motocross, but we only know it from previous Supercross races in this building. The sand section over on this side, that might lead to the biggest variance, and I guess you could say that's a motocrossy section. But look, this is going to be a Supercross test, essentially. And the one thing we could say is, look, we have not seen Jett Lawrence in a 450 Supercross full on yet. Obviously, Chase Sexton likes where he is with Supercross. He's good at Charlotte. He's your Monster Energy Supercross champ. Maybe that's something.
Yeah, maybe. Jett Lawrence was fastest today, I believe, in both sessions combined. He did have a fall, though. He tipped over at one point, had a little front-end wash, so something to watch for right there. But enough about us talking. Let's take a look at what this track looked like in action from behind us. All right, so that's what the track looked like, and we're actually up here at the top of the peristyle, Jason. A little bit tighter than I feel like I remember even. It's pretty tight between these corridors.
Dude, you would think Haiden Deegan would know this place so well because his dad, I'd forgotten he won a rally car race in X Games. Also, we know he did the 360 in X Games and, of course, the Ghost Ride when he won a Supercross. So you'd think Haiden would know this building inside out. And I watched him this morning when he first saw how narrow the exits and entrances to the peristyle are. The riders were kind of surprised how narrow it actually is. You want to go?
Yeah,
go
we'll walk over here. I mean, Larry Brooks famously clipped the edge of this and then shot down the peristyle. We've heard it all, I feel like all week long that's been talked about. But definitely, if you pan over here, Tom, real quick and take a look, I mean, these guys are already, you know, basically scraping their handlebars up against that Monster Energy tough block right there. You can see where the ruts were going to. It's tight quarters up here at the top.
Yeah, and the peristyle split, and then on the bottom of this, the sand section is split as well. So I'm assuming the riders on the inside will just stick to the right and left, vice versa. But you don't have to. You could change lines at the bottom of this peristyle hill. They're getting to work because, yes, they got down to the concrete. I think they'll solve that for tomorrow. But it's okay. It's all okay if you have a little bit of like, hey, that's kind of weird. Because I think even the riders, look, the last time we had a full Supercross here was 1998. None of these riders were even born, sadly, for the most part. But I think they all just know, oh, it's iconic. It's the first Supercross. The first Super Bowl was played here. So you really can't knock it. You just got to accept it.
No, and honestly, it looked like it formed up as a pretty good racetrack so far today. We've seen a couple different option lines develop in this one rhythm section coming back towards us down here and then before the finish line, so a couple option lines as well. And then the sand section, like you said, being split, we might have a guy, you know, send it a little bit farther off the wall, jump halfway through it, and be able to get up the inside and make a pass. So at least a couple options around this racetrack.
And I know what you folks are all here for, the drama that suddenly started with Ken Roczen's Instagram post, I think on Sunday. When we left Chicagoland and Jett Lawrence said, I gave him a baby gift, I was doing it for points and math to try to push Sexton further back. I kind of left there thinking like, well, the math was dumb, it didn't work, but I tried it. I didn't know that it was going to spread like wildfire until Kenny, as he said today, the 24 to 48 hours after when he started the process, I felt I could win that race and you took the chance to win it straight up away. That's, I feel like, when it started to build. So I'm sure today you're all wondering, well, what is it like now? Well, they sat right next to each other in the press conference. Kenny said the same thing. He's like, this could have been, he said, pardon my English, a badass win, and I didn't get a chance. It was just kind of a lame ending. And Jett said, I'm just focused on racing. I didn't listen to all the outside noise. Anyway, here's what I'm getting at, Kellen. I think everybody's wondering, especially because there's some bowl berms out here, do you think we see anyone doing a little extra? The difference between the champ and second in the 450 division is $500,000. That's the difference. Does it get wild and crazy in the 450s? What do you think?
I do think we can see the opportunity for that for sure, especially because no whoops on this racetrack means that we're going to have closer lap times. Even today, a lot of guys all within a second or so of each other. And then we saw at Chicagoland and Charlotte how these guys, you know, were fairly close even towards the end of the motos. I think the shorter motos helps. It's still a fast, quick racetrack. And so if these guys are able to start next to each other, I think, yeah, anything's up for game. And $500,000 on the line, we hear all these guys all the time say, I'd pump my grandma for $500,000. So punt someone that you maybe aren't that fond of right now if you're Ken Roczen, I think you do it.
Yeah, and I mean 500 more. It's 500 for second, $1 million for first. It's a $500,000 jump if you win this title, and $250 for third in the 450s. The 250 class, I don't even need to ask. Haiden Deegan threw it out there. He's like, I see some bull berms, I'm going to get aggressive. I have no doubt in my mind that the 250 guys will go nuts with this much money, and I feel it is Hunter Lawrence's job to somehow try to stay away from all that. He has been the mature veteran all year. Can he avoid that chaos?
Yeah, well, he even said in the press conference today, this is basically my last 250 race in America. Yeah. Finally kind of confirmed that this is his swan song, right? He's going to race 250 at the Nations, but like you say, kind of wants to go out not crazy. I think he would love to win, but doesn't want to get hurt, because if he's going to be a rookie on a 450 next year, the last thing he needs to do is get his tibia snapped in half trying to go for an extra little bit of money, right?
Yeah, the way he kind of said it was he's already had a great season. Yep. So he's just trying to treat this as house money, a bonus. If he gets the money, he gets this title, it'd be great. But he's smart enough to say, like, I'm not going to not win this one and then look back at 2023 as, I mean, he won a Supercross title and a Motocross title. He's done his job. The Nations are going to be really good as well, Team Australia. So it's already been great. I feel like that 450 thing is a little more tilt to it because of the Roczen Jett deal, which I think is a little overrated. I don't know if that's going to result in anything, even though people are talking about it. But I feel like between Sexton and Jett and who fires first for Supercross next year, I feel like that actually means more than the money. So I think it means more to them than Hunter versus Joe, for example, in the 250s.
Right. No, exactly, 100%. These guys are trying to get back at Jett after kind of clapping them all outdoors, right? So a lot of fun storylines coming in this finale. Essentially a winner-take-all, triple points, a lot of money on the line, and back in the LA Coliseum, pretty much everything we want. Incredible, incredible day here so far, and looking forward to the racing tomorrow. So that's your first look, brought to you by 6D Helmets. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow night to recap it all, and hopefully some fun drama to talk about there too.